Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for Quest for the Open. This year we're going to do it. Didn't go well last year. Neither did the video series go well. We just didn't record. So today we're going to talk about a little bit of how we did last year and then things to improve on going into this year. So last year was the best year of golf I've ever played. Sadly, I peaked a little late in the season. So I played in the Georgia Open qualifier at Pine Tree and got off to a really slow start. Didn't exactly shoot the round I wanted to shoot. Did not qualify, but then I followed it up with a top 20 finish at the Milton Martin Honda Classic and a second place finish at the North Chapter Championship, which is my best professional finish in my career. Goal this year is to keep building on what we were doing last year. This is going to be a lesson video, just to be quite frank with you. There's things I need to work on. I didn't play a lot or hit a lot during the winter, so the goal is, try and get back the feel that I was feeling with the driver, the irons, wedges, putting, everything, because at the end of the year I felt almost unstoppable. Warm-up's done. We're going to get a couple slow-mo videos, and then we're going to talk about what I'm seeing on those videos in my own swing. I'm basically going to give myself a lesson. So let's get into it. All right, so as I'm looking at the video, there's a couple things I see. A lot of it has to do with the lower body. I think the rotation of the upper body is pretty good. It's fine. It's not insanely good or anything. Lower body, there's some issues. So number one, this left knee comes in and then it kind of rounds like that. I don't know if that's easy to see. I'm going to try to, it comes like way in and then rounds instead of straightening back. It does this big rounding thing. Now it hasn't affected the starting line of the shots I've hit so far today, but I could definitely see that becoming an issue. So our focus today is going to be, number one, eliminate that. It's going to be an interesting lesson. And I think that number one, so this move as opposed to this move, it's probably hurting distance a little bit as well. And then number two, because it's rounding like this, I'm ending up kind of here. Which isn't a terrible spot, but I want to end up more down into it. Because this is rounding, the right shoulder has to kind of dip to help close that face with the hands kind of releasing like that. That's number one, is fix that. And then you got to feel that right shoulder cover as that's happening. So it's a two-step plan. So number one, kind of feel that load better, making sure that this leg doesn't dip in. And then number two, as we come down, feel that right shoulder cover and the left side exit. I think that's a pretty good place to start. And then the last thing, I want to maintain a little bit more flex in my right knee. It's getting very, very straight, like locked out at the top. And there's just a chance that that pop back in can create some issues, especially with the driver. You're swinging faster and longer clubs. But we're going to focus on part one first, because I think a lot of times in golf you fix one problem and it can fix both. I feel like if I don't rotate in as much like this, I think that can help it, because the hip movement's actually not terrible. I just need to feel like there, flex that knee, and then that way. Let's give it a shot. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a couple short swings and just try and check our position there and make sure this knee hasn't gone in, hasn't collapsed. I'm trying to keep this leg kind of wide and then snap it back. Now I'm not trying to hit good shots when I do this. It's not the point of it. The point is feeling the tension and feeling that position. That's super awkward feeling. Really awkward to feel. We're gonna have to look at that one on video. I'm not sure if I did it correctly. Really restricting. The idea is I do this enough times, I don't have to think about it anymore when I do it. And this isn't something to think about on the course. It's just something to think about during practice. So that one, I think I actually got the upper half more correct. At least it felt like it. Problem is I didn't cover with the right shoulder, so I kind of dipped and slid underneath it, thinned it. Feel a couple more. I'm gonna fast forward through these next couple, but there it is. I want to see what that looks like on video. I don't have a great angle of it, but that's the feeling. That's the feeling I'm after right there. All right, so that's certainly something we need to keep practicing with the irons, because the last couple I hit there, I really started to feel that move where it's flex and then that rotate out and that right side gets around. That was awesome. I'm not looking at any numbers right now because I just don't think it's that important at the moment to look at numbers. What I am going to do is we're going to take a look at the driver swing, see how that differs, how it's similar, you know, if there's anything that needs to be adjusted on that part. That's the easiest fix of all time, gang. We're just actually going to put it in the front of our stance. It is, I'm not kidding, looking at the video, it's dead middle of the stance. Like absolutely middle. Significantly more forward in the stance, I feel. Maybe the camera will show me something different, but that's still high toe. I'm pulling out of it. I've got to be pulling out of it. There it is. I want to see that one on video. That was hit well, actually. What I'm trying to feel there is that upper body staying down and rotating up into the golf ball. Might be a little too wide of a stance, too. And it's going to be middle every single time like that. Not middle of the face, it's still toey. I am actually putting it out there, though. Like, it's getting to that front tier of the other range, which is why I can't do this when they're not on the mats. Focus on up into the golf ball there. Okay, smooth swing though. You're not trying to fix any swing mechanic stuff. It's a cut, but those are hit better. I was closest to the middle of the face so far. Driver's not quite there yet. I think my alignment needs some help. I think my setup needs some help. And the swing issues that are present on the irons are also present on the driver. And so all of it's just got to be a little bit better. That's well hit. So, big things to focus on in the swing wise. Obviously, setup. I tell this to every student I have. Setup's the most important thing you can do. If you do not set yourself up for success, you will not see success. So, especially the driver's setup. The setup with a 7 looked good. So what we're working on with that is keeping that knee from collapsing. Then as we rotate through, focusing on not this right knee getting outside that left foot, but back, and then making sure we're covering with that right shoulder. And because when I do that, contact's there. I mean, it really is. But there's a lot still we have to get better at. I have a match today against my brother. That'll be uploaded at a later date. But other than that, that is all we have for today's episode of Quest for the Open. Really need to dial it in. First tournament is in April. Open qualifying is probably going to be in August, June, August. Planning on playing in 5 tournaments this year, hopefully. But we'll see how that all pans out. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. If you did like it, leave a like. And subscribe to stay up to date with everything going on with Quest for the Open. I'm going to be filming rounds. I'm going to be filming lessons I give myself. I'm going to be talking about all the little things I'm going through in order to reach that peak a little bit earlier in the season so that I get a chance to play in the Georgia Open this year. And we will see you guys next time.